Hello everyone, my name is Potato Lucy, and if you've been following me for a while, you might know that I've been working on a little project the past year, where each week I try and build a unique biome within one chunk, like you can see in my back. And in this video I just wanted to talk a bit about how the project came to be, how well it went, and just my overall thoughts on it. So, how did this project come to be in the first place? So for the past couple of years I've been kind of wanting to focus more of my Minecraft building attention on terraforming instead of regular building, because I realized that regular building just isn't really for me and terraforming is a bit more free and easier for me to do. But the problem is that I have a hard time doing big projects, big builds, because I just have a hard time starting them and just keeping the motivation to continue them. I'm sure a lot of people would relate. So instead of trying to go with something really big, I thought, why not try something small? So I came up with the idea of One Chunk Biomes, little biomes that fit within one chunk. And I started with this one, and then I just had a lot of fun with it actually, and just made a couple more, and it grew to this. But then I kinda stopped with it. As you can see, I have a couple empty spots here because I just still had trouble kinda getting myself to start something. So I had to do something else. But then on New Year's Day 2024, I stumbled upon this Twitter account from this person that had been, throughout 2023, had been building a really cool terrain build each week for the whole year. And I thought that was really cool. I was really inspired by it. It was exactly like builds that I wanted to make. So I wanted to try something similar by building a cool landscape each week throughout the entire year. But there was still a problem, and that was the size of the builds. Like, those builds they created were really big and really impressive, but I couldn't really do that each week. It would just be too much for me. So I had to kind of scale it down, and then I went back to the idea of these one chunk biomes, and I thought maybe you can do that throughout the entire year. 52 weeks straight, one build each week, one small build each week. That just seemed quite doable, and that's how this project kind of came to be. And my goals for this project were to kind of just really improve my terraforming skills throughout the year with this. And like, if we go take a look at some of my earlier ones, then later compared to my later ones, I think I've really done that pretty well. I think I've really improved a lot. We can also take a look at that if we just go a bit faster here. In the last month of the year, I thought it would be fun to revisit the first 4 biomes and just kind of remake them in my newer style. And I think that went really well. You can really see a clear difference between how much I've improved, how much more detail I kind of have, how much less messy it looks. I'm really proud of how that went. My other goal was to just make a completely new and unique biome/theme each week with just different blocks each time. And that was quite a struggle actually. Like, trying to come up with something new and unique each week was hard, and sometimes you just kind of have to reuse certain themes. Like, I have a lot of ice themes, like here, especially in the beginning. Sometimes you kind of just have to reuse them and just use them in new different ways, and I think I've done that pretty well actually. Like, none of these biomes look quite the same, and I really love that. I'm quite proud of how that went. Anyways, right now I would kind of just like to talk a bit about each of the biomes and talk a bit about how it went and how much I like them or don't like them. I won't go too much in detail about each of the biomes because that would make it too long, so I'm gonna try to keep it kinda short at least. Anyways, let's start at the beginning. So honestly, these first couple ones are just not really that special. The first 3 are literally just ice and hot themes. It was not very original, but I was just getting started, so I didn't really know what I was doing yet. This one is kind of weird. I try to go, because I had been doing such basic things, I wanted to go with something a bit different, but yeah, I honestly don't know what it's supposed to be. I have a lot of regrets about this one, and I like the remade version a bit more. Then we got to here, Crying Crystals. This was alright. It's very messy. It's alright. Then we have Infested Waterways. I actually quite like this one. This is where it kind of started getting good, I think. I even made like a little bigger version of this, like in another world. I even uploaded that on a video here on my channel. If you want to go check that out, you can do that. I quite like the ambience in that one, in that build. It's not like something particularly impressive, but I like it. Then we have this one, Decaying Volcanic Fields, and this one I started using slabs finally. Like here I started understanding the importance of slabs kinda, and I think that went really well. It's just some nice smooth terrain. It's nothing special, but I think it's alright. And by the way, something you might notice is the terrible texturing pattern I'm using with these earlier builds. That's because I was using a tool called the trowel, which when you use that, it randomly places blocks in your hotbar, which makes it a bit easier to texture, but as you might notice later down the line, that just doesn't really make for good terrain builds, but we'll get into that later. Anyways, here we have Abyssal Acna. This was just a funny little experiment where I just placed random blocks in random patterns, and then I just came up with this. That was a funny little one. This one I really liked. This one here, I started to really feel like I was cooking with these and actually had good, cool ideas. And especially this one, I forgot the name, but I really like this one. Like, for a while, this was one of my favorites, like genuinely. And I still really like it. It's could be a bit better with the texturing again, but like, whatever. This Palace of Plainness is this. It's alright. I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. It's plainness. And Bamboo Community. This one was fun because I wanted to try something different. This is where I started uploading time lapses on YouTube Shorts. I thought it would be something fun to try. I didn't have the idea of it at first. I did not honestly think I would get this far with the project. But when I came to this one, I wanted to try making those time lapses and to kind of see like how I built these. And I thought it was a really fun idea, and I think that went pretty well actually. Maybe you've seen some of those time lapses, but they really they doubled my subscriber count. Not that I had a lot of subscribers, but I think it's really helped. It didn't get a lot of views, but I never really get a lot of views anyway on anything, so I'm fine with it. They were pretty good. I'm really glad I made them. Anyways, we have honey geysers. This one was quite fun. I really liked, although the honey texture is a bit weird. It was weird, yeah. This one was funny. Mycelium Thunder. This was another snow theme. And it's a bit boring maybe, and funny thing is that on the time-lapse short I uploaded for this, there was a guy who commented this just looks like you're running out of ideas, and yeah, I ran out of ideas, I think, yeah. Anyways, Pepper Arch Mountains, this one was funny. Weird little name, weird little shape, whatever. And I really liked how this one came to be, Radiant Roots. So there's this enemy in Risk of Rain 2 that's called Grandparents, and they are this kind of yellow radiant sun, big giant beings. were inspired by by stars, and their face is kind of this yellow circle. And I once had a dream about them, about a Lego grandparents. For some reason it was Lego, but it had this, it kind of looked like this and had this orange thing and had some blue claws around it. And I thought that looked really cool. And I was just really inspired by it. And then I just made this biome with the yellow frog lights resembling the grandparents and that blue cloth kinda. And I thought that was really fun. It's not like some impressive looking biome, but I really like it. It's very special to me. Anyways, here we have overgrown marsh, I think. And this is kind of where I started to realize that having greenery really elevates your terrain. It really adds detail into your terrain. It always makes it look good. I didn't really use it that much after that. Not until there, but that's kind of where I realized where green just really works. And this one, Lightning Valley, I don't like this one. I was in a very messy state there. It's whatever. However, Diamond Rivers, I really like this one. It's very pretty. It's still very messy texturing, but it still works really well, I think. It's got nice colors, the diamonds are nice, fit well. Yeah, I liked it. This one, Hellish Blossoms, I do not like. It's weird, I don't really know what it resembles. I wanted to have more cherry, because it had blossoms in the name, Hellish Blossoms, but I kind of have this thing where I wanted to make it as vanilla as possible, so I couldn't really place pink petals like everywhere or stuff like that, because for some reason there is not an option to do that, even in creative. So I was kind of restricted with that, and this ended with kind of a disappointment. These ancient debris things are also kind of weird. I don't know what they are, but whatever. This one, Boiling Beach, this one was nice. Used some andstone here. Enchanted Ways, I don't really like this one, even though Crimson is actually my favorite block. And it really became my favorite blocks throughout this project. I use it a lot. There, here. Like a couple more times there, I think. But I didn't really like it. It's kind of boring, but it's okay. Now, for these ones, the next couple ones, the next 4, it was June, so I thought maybe it could be fun to do a Pride themed builds. So I started with transforming alps, with like the trans colors, and I think this is a funny little one. It's very colorful. It doesn't really make much sense terrain-wise, but it's fun. Here we have Binding Barrens. It was hard to kind of represent the bi flag in Minecraft with Minecraft blocks, but I think this works. This is kind of weird. It's meant to be a sort of binding together because of bi. It's stupid, but whatever. I like it. Here we have Ace Peaks. This is kind of just geodes, but as pillars or peaks, whatever. It's nice. It looks nice. Here we have Lesbian Cliffs, and that one got the most dislikes out of the time lapses. I wonder why. Anyways, it's a funny little one. Just a little cliff. It's kind of like the transition between the colors. It's not bad. And so we got to the halfway point of the project. At this point I was actually quite happy with the progress I was making for this project, even though I still had quite a bit to go. Like, I was quite motivated. It was, even though I tried to always make these on Monday and just upload them every on Monday, make a post on social media on Monday, and try and upload the shorts on Monday, but for this first half I just kind of struggled with doing that. Like, a lot of them were uploaded on like Wednesday or something, or a couple days later. But throughout this last half I actually managed to do everything on Monday. The build, social media posts, and the short time lapses all on Monday, and I'm quite proud of how that went actually. Like I really got into the project here, got quite excited each week to just make a new build. And anyways, let's go further. This was routing a savanna. Here I wanted to use a bit of dark oak, but I just ended up only using strip dark oak, because dark oak just didn't really work that well. This was also, despite these being all terrain builds and trees being really important to terrain builds, this was my first time using trees in the One Chunk Biomes. And I quite like these trees. I like the rooted dirt with the mushroom blocks and these. I really like these leaves, the muddy mangrove roots or whatever they called. I like them. Tried to make a little fallen down tree, but that did not go that well. But okay. Here we have uranium paths. I wanted to use some slime blocks. It's neat. It uses some moss blocks, some greenery, which is nice. It's not bad. Then we have warped shores. Don't really have a lot to say about this one. It's kind of just a lot of warp stuff. And here we get to Rusty Hills, and this was my first build with 1.21 blocks. I think that update Tricky Trials had been out for like a month already, but I had only just managed to update my mods and finally got to use these blocks. And even though these blocks, most of these stuff blocks, the copper blocks, they're not really kind of terraforming blocks, so I wasn't really that excited about them, but I think I still managed to use them in a nice way. Like the little moss carpets. I quite like that. It's not bad. Here we have Cursed Gorge, I think. And this one is kind of a weird palette, but it looks nice, I guess. I kinda like it. Here we have South Wetlands, and I tried to use some ugly blocks for this, some ugly yellow blocks like sponge and endstone. And I actually really like this. Like this might be one of my favorites from, well, it's not really my earlier builds, but whatever, I really like it. I think it uses it like it's like a nice underwater biome. I think it fits really well underwater. Anyways, this was Scorched Path, and this is where I felt like still feel like my stuff started getting really good. Like I liked everything I'd made before. It wasn't like amazing, but this one was the first one where I really felt like I was cooking. And funnily enough, this was the first biome where I started not using the trowel. Like up until this point, I've always used a trowel to randomize the blocks for the textures. But here I stopped doing it, and it just looks a bit nicer. I think a bit more about where I place the blocks, and it's a bit less messy. And I think that just ended up really nice. And one other thing I said before is how throughout this project, I kind of try to keep it as vanilla as possible. So no grass or short grass placements on random stone blocks, for example. But here I thought I was kind of sick of that restrictment. And I just wanted more creativity with these builds. I had so many more cool ideas that I could do with these plant blocks, but it was just so frustrating that I couldn't use them. So here I just decided to just say, fuck it, I'm gonna use them anyway, and I think that really paid off here. Like the little netherwars on the shroom lights and these crimson roots, they just really added to this. I really like this build, it's one of my favorites. Now we have this one, Paddy Polders, uses a lot of wheat blocks, not on farmland, which makes it look really nice. It uses some little corals, I like it. Now here, Mutating Falls. This is probably my personal favorite. Like I said before, I really like crimson, and it just mixes really well with the cherry logs. And for some reason also the clay and gravel here, I really like that. But then this crying obsidian it makes it look so pretty. I love it. I really love this one. It's is my favorite. Yeah. Here we have Rocked Valley. It's a nice one. Nice one with orange and black. Some dripstone for some extra details. Like here I really leaned into the blends on random blocks thing. Like here, this is one of the sniffer things, I think. It's really nice. I love that blend. It's nice. Here we have large ice caps. And it had actually been a while since I've done a ice theme. I had been actively trying to avoid doing more ice themes because I already had 3 in the beginning, but I thought it was time again. It felt like time again to do one, so I had this nice one. I forgot the name of... Oh no, wait, Corrupted Forest, that's the one. I wanted to have sort of a Blood Moon theme. So you have kind of the nether warts and stuff. And I think it looks pretty cool. It's like little fucked up forest. I love it. Now with spiderwebby grounds, I don't really like this one, to be honest. It's weird. It's not bad, but it's like... It hasn't really got much to it, but it's fine. This is Verdant Oasis. I really like this one. It's kind of just your typical desert biome with tropical desert biome, but it looks really nice. Now we have Crumbling Garden. Here for months I had been wanting to use smithing table blocks. Like I really like the top texture of this. And I had been wanting to use it for a while and I was like, let's use it. And I think it's nice. It's not amazing or anything, but from the top it looks kind of weird, but it looks a bit better like this. It's fine. Now here, Boggy Falls. This was where I discovered the fill biome command. And that really changed a lot for me, actually. Kind of like here with Scorch Path and the plan, extra plants and the better texturing. It just, the fill biome command changed a lot for me. Like this kind of has the swamp colors and just makes the water look really nice, and the leaves. Ignore those leaves, because here in Teal Garden I got this more snowy biome look. So I could kind of have the teal kind of vibes. I used some little blue fires. I really like those. There were more here, but I think those got removed due to updating, whatever. Here we have Pumpkin Valley. That was my Halloween build. That's a really fun one. I kind of wished I could have used some resin blocks. I feel like those worked well here, but like could have worked well here. But I'm happy with the shroom and pumpkins. I like them. It's a nice build. Now the final 2 months. For Foggy Canyon. Yeah, that's what it was called. This one has got a. This one was kind of an experiment with a more unique vibe. Like this one is supposed to be a bit foggy. That's why there's the glass here. But without fog in game, it just doesn't. It looks kind of boring, honestly. But that's fine. Here we have Magic Lavender Plains, which is kind of just Scorch Path here, but purple. And I really like it. That's my favorite block. And yeah, I just really like it. Tough. I've used that block a lot as well. Tough. Yeah, solid biome. And here we have Copper Mount. I quite like this one because I wanted to use raw copper blocks. They're a terrible looking block, the bean block, but I thought maybe it could be fun to just try it. I had tried it before with sponges and endstone, and I actually really like it here. I think it works really well on the top here with the jungle planks and the podzol at the bottom. I genuinely really like this one. Also like the little copper rods and the frog lights, or the frog spawn. Like the little mushrooms, it's kind of cute. Here we have Gilded Path, and this is another one of my favorites. It's just really rich and pretty in colors, and I love it so much. Cherry blossoms, I used cherry blossoms some of the ones before there, and I really regretted it. But here it just looks really pretty. I love this one. Now we're at the final month. And I was kind of worried about too much pressure, like having too much pressure about making the builds look too good. Since it was the final month, it had to be kind of special, but here I went with a really weird look, and I really love it. I don't really know how to explain this one. I really like the basalt delta particle texture. This is another one of the biome colors. You can kind of see it here. And I just really love this one. The reinforced deep slate, the skull, it all works so well together. The coal blocks, and even the dragon eggs looking like little dark messed up mushrooms or something. I love it. I really love this one. Then we have Jagged Desert. I realized I hadn't really done much with sand before, so I just wanted to use sand again, and it's a nice one. Nice little desert biome. And here we have, I forgot the name. Something with tundra and whatever. This was my first build with Pale Garden. Like, my mods had just updated, and I was really excited to use some Pale Garden blocks, as you can see. And I just wanted to go with my final snow team, but a bit more of a messed up, a darker version of it. And I like it. It doesn't really have much color, because that's basically what the pale stuff is. It's very desaturated. But I quite like the pale moss and the pale oak wood. It's nice. It's nothing special really. Probably my least favorite out of the final four, but it's still fine. And then we have the final one. Valley of the Potato. I really like this one. I kind of had an idea for this one since like halfway through the project here. I wanted to kind of have the final biome just be something plain simple. It's nothing special, just grass, some basic blocks, and that's what I did here. I really like it. It's like throughout this whole project I had been kind of trying to just make something special each week, but for the final one I just wanted to rest. I think it felt like a fitting one to end it on. And so yeah, that was the end of the project. I'm just really happy with how this project went, even though when I look back now at some of the older ones and kind of cringe at some of the terrain shaping or just bad details, texturing, I'm just really proud of myself for what I've done and how much I've improved, because that was my goal for this entire project, to really improve my terraforming skills, and you can really see that improvement over here. So I'm just proud of myself for that. I'm happy with that. I'm also very excited for 2025 to just go a bit bigger, because with these one chunk biomes you kind of have the problem that you're just stuck in one chunk and just can't go much bigger. You have a lot of restrictions, so I'm excited to just go a bit away from that one chunk restriction and just go a bit bigger and just improve my building even more. Anyways, that's all I had to say here. I've got a lot of fun things planned for next year and for 2025 or beyond. And so I hope you liked what you saw here, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye bye! Bye.